Welcome to Yard Prep. I'm Kai'Chien Chisholm. To my right, Royal A. Shepherd. Below me is Kendall, a.k.a. Mr. Juan Dong Tigers himself. It's the last pregame of the season. The last time that Dolphins fans get to have some sort of happiness or sadness until 2022 in August, September, something like that. How are we feeling, Royal? I'll start with you, man.
I mean, this ends my maiden voyage into Dolphins fandom, so it's been a pretty interesting season. I've gotten to see the worst of the Dolphins. I got to see the best of them. Got to see the best and worst of Dolphins Twitter. That was new for me, and that was always fun. Um,
Is
but
there
yeah,
ever a best of Dolphins Twitter?
y'all funny as hell over there. Just being perfectly honest
Oh,
with
it's
you.
it it's about to be funny today.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's
funny,
about
but
to be
just like
funny.
I think overall, like today should be a game where the Dolphins kind of like celebrate. You know what I mean? You guys did well to revive your season after a shitty start. So whatever the outcome of today's game is, Dolphins fans should be proud of the way that their team was able to like battle through this season, even though it ended with disappointment and not making the playoffs.
Kendall?
I mean, I'm feeling relieved at this point because man, it's just too much with this team, and it's just I'm not down. I would like to see a good performance and the team win, but if they don't at this point, it's like they ain't really playing for nothing. Guys ain't trying to get hurt. Ogba got a deal on the way. Mike Gesicki got a deal on the way. So
Nah.
well,
Yeah,
not if
I mean
not
he got
not
a
from
deal.
us. Yeah, he got a deal on the way. Where it comes from, who knows? But so it's like
It's not going to be from the
I, you
Dolphins.
feel me? I hope not. It shouldn't. But so I don't expect too much from today. I'm feeling all right, man. This is almost over, and then we're moving on.
Oh God, that bitch gave
we
me
get
PTSD all season long. Kai'Chien Chisholm, we're not gonna go continue past this conversation without asking you how are you doing today.
um dude, honestly, I'm doing okay, man. Like I'm wondering if this is going to mean anything next year, cuz that's just whatever. I got this for Christmas from one of my friends, right? I hope that's going to mean something. There's a two, I'm just wondering, will it mean anything next year? That's really where it's at. And just to put it out there, we will have a show on Thursday. It'll be me, myself, Royal, and Juan. Kendall, if you want to join, you can. If you want to take Michael's place, because Michael won't be back until the end of the Super Bowl. He's got some stuff that he's doing, some stuff in the works, so he will not be on shows. But we'll recap everything and talk about it. Maybe Brian Flores is fired tomorrow morning. Maybe he isn't. I hope not. I think firing Brian Flores would be an idiotic move, but I guess that's really just the topic of conversation today is you beat the Patriots, you finish the season with a above 500 record, you finish 9-8, you lose to the Patriots, you finish 8-9, and it's like, does that matter for Tua? Does that matter for Brian Flores? I know where all of you side on the Brian Flores stance, but on this perspective, how everything's being looked at with the Harbaugh rumors, do you think that this could be the final game for Brian Flores as a Miami Dolphins head coach, or do you think all of that just insane to even think about? And I'll start with you, Royal.
Okay, so I don't think today's game has any bearing on the decision that the Miami Dolphins are going to make. I think that decision was made last week once they kind of had some finality to the season, like we're not going to the playoffs now. They started to look towards next season. Then I don't think all of the Jim Harbaugh stuff is going to impact Brian Flores' status. I think he did a good enough job this year to warrant getting another season. Tua is an entirely different story. So those are separate issues. I think they made a decision on Tua last week, and unfortunately, I think all that shit that you got with Tua is going to be worthless next year. Like I think they made a decision to get rid of him, move on, go to somebody else. But Flores, I think they're going to keep around. I don't think it's. I know it's something to the Harbaugh stuff, but at the end of the day, I think Flores will be the coach next year.
Kendall?
Yeah. So to piggyback off what Royal said with the Harbaugh stuff and Flores, I mean that's just obviously the Michigan connection. I don't think today has any bearing on Flores like status as a coach. I do think that if we finish 9-8 and two winning seasons in a row, that would it would actually help
After
him to
what they
finish.
did to the team too, as well,
Yeah,
like
you
in
know
when
what I'm
they
saying?
hired
Yeah,
him.
Yeah, exactly. For you to strip down a team and he signs up for it and accepts that, and then they overachieve in the first year. I mean, there was articles and people said that they messed up the easiest part, and that was tanking. It was like obvious that Flo wasn't tanking. I remember against Washington, he went for two to try to win the game instead of tanking, and they were like 0-5. And that's when I was like, all right, I like this guy because Kai knows he's put that tweet of mine in the chat. I have never been a tank for Tua, tank for nobody fan. I don't believe in that. I think that is lame as fuck. Hey, let's purposely lose to get one person. I don't agree with it. So I think today means more for Tua in the sense of like his possible trade value. Like if you go 3-0 against the Patriots and Bill Belichick, like that is something. It's a feather in your cap, but he just has to look good doing it. We can't be with the whole like 17, 16 wins. Like even last year it was a 22-12, I believe, and it was mostly the run game. So I think, and for
First
him to
100-yard
finish the
rush
year,
was Jai last year with
yeah,
Savon.
we went for like 250. Like it's more important for Tua. Even though I agree, I think in the decision on Tua for me as a believer was made last week as well. Like just because we were in a position to keep our playoff hopes alive in this, he just didn't show enough for me to even believe in to be like he could be one of those guys. Like he's not special to me anymore. Like that just confirmed it. So I think today would be good for him in terms of his trade value and good for Flores and the fact of finishing above 500 two, 2 years in a row after stripping down a team top to bottom.
So what does it take for? I was gonna put that up in a second too. What does it take for Tua to be like cemented to get another year in your eyes, Kendall? I guess I start with because like if Tua goes out there today and let's just ballpark. I know Marcus Hunter is the biggest Tua hater in 5 Reasons Sports YouTube commenting, but if Tua goes out there and let's just say hypothetically has like a 3 touchdown, like a pick game, and it's clear that he is the reason why the Dolphins won the game, do you go there and you say, okay, maybe we are warranted to give him another season because in the last game of the season with nothing really to play for except for the Patriots having stuff to play for, like the division and such, he went out there and he balled out against a playoff team. If that is good, do you think it just increases what you could get in a trade, or do you think that that'll give you a little bit more to be like, all right, maybe I'll keep him?
For me personally, it would just be for a trade. I mean,
So the ship sailed.
yeah, I think that because next year for you to miss the playoffs by a game in 2 straight years, like how can I can't sit here and think that Chris Greer and Brian Flores is next year is the year that they have to make the playoffs. Like that's something I think we all can agree on. Like if they don't make the playoffs next year, that they'll be gone. I don't think that they're gonna go into next season trying to hitch their job like
Onto a
um onto it. Yeah, it's just like I know I wouldn't be not with what I seen. Like I even though there's major flaws, it's not just him, but in terms of like, okay, if my job was on the line and quarterback is the most important position, obviously they need to do other things around that position. Like the O line is trash, worse in the league. Receivers never healthy. So it's not all on Tua. I won't say that, but if my job is on the line, I'm not putting it in the hands of a guy that just showing me that he can be an efficient game manager at times.
Royal, is there anything that makes you say, all right, I'll stick with Tua?
Yeah, I already said it. Like, look, I'm fine with Tua Tagovailoa as the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. It's not just because I'm not a 100% fan. It's because I believe that he's already shown me enough to warrant giving an opportunity to consistently start as a quarterback for an NFL team. Like Kendall, the points that you're making are spot on. He's playing with the worst offensive line in football, no wide receivers. And it's like I don't want to be a Tua apologist because there are indeed things that he needs to improve on, and there are limitations there. But I believe what he was able to overcome this season, and then considering that last year, his rookie year was kind of like the most uncommon rookie year in NFL history. Like essentially, this was his rookie season, and if this is the rookie that you got, then I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty cool banking on him growing in areas that can help a team win games. And so,
But if your job's
the
on the line, are you banking on it?
I mean, what are the options? Like, if am I going for a for sure upgrade? Sure, that's the case all the time though. If I'm getting Aaron Rodgers, Russ, Deshaun Watson, like those guys, I mean, of course, allegations aside, like, but if I'm getting a clear upgrade like that, then yeah. But if you're just telling me like I'm going from Tua to Kirk fucking Cousins, then I'm not doing it. Like I won't. Like,
where did that begin? Where did we? Legitimate question, because maybe I just
clue.
took a break off of like who started the Kirk Cousins thing on Twitter?
I don't know. I don't know where. I don't even know where I saw it, bro. Just being honest.
And I don't think Kirk is a bad quarterback, but I just don't think that that's a like why.
Well, yeah,
that's a swap that doesn't make sense.
And this is where you and I differ, Kai'Chien Chisholm. I think Kirk Cousins fucking sucks. I just do. I look at his. You look at his stats, and it was funny because after we did the extra yard, me and Alfredo were talking about this off air. But you look at Kirk Cousins' stats, and you would think that he is, you know, a top.
We had a comment saying it was Omar Kelly.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
Keep going.
Yeah, but you look at Kirk Cousins' stats, and you think he's like a solid top tier quarterback. But Kirk Cousins is trash. Like if you watch him play football. And so if I'm going from Tua to Kirk Cousins,
if he's trash, do you agree that Cam is mid?
No, you'll never get me to say that about a black quarterback. Start Cam. But yeah, like I'm not. If I'm going from Tua to something that's a substantial and clear upgrade, then I understand it. But to me, there is not very many quarterbacks like that are available that is going to be a clear upgrade over Tua Tagovailoa.
I don't know, man.
Well, you saw Seattle said they're sticking with Russ, so that's take one off the board.
See, Kirk Cousins is an upgrade over Tua, in my opinion.
Sure, Kirk Cousins is a better player than Tua Tagovailoa right now, but I'm not giving up Tua Tagovailoa for fucking Kirk Cousins. Not to put behind this same offensive line, these same.
This is where I stand as well. Like I agree with all of it. If you find something that's a clear cut upgrade, young, I don't want no 2 years bullshit. I don't want that. I don't want 2 years.
Well, I do. If it's Aaron Rodgers, I'll take all two of them.
Yeah.
If it's Aaron Rodgers, it's gonna be like 5 or 7, in my opinion. I can see Aaron Rodgers playing for like another 5 years.
Me too.
Sure.
But
like on paper,
I'm not taking like a 2 year.
Yeah,
I'm not taking a 2 year deal. None of that bullshit. I'm not gonna sacrifice 24 years of my life by the time that we have a new quarterback or not, of them losing. And then all of a sudden now, we have 2 years of greatness and we go back to losing. I don't want to be the Broncos. It was great the Broncos won a Super Bowl, but now they suck again.
What do you mean by greatness? What is greatness?
Like if we win a Super Bowl.
The Broncos got a Super Bowl out of that.
That's cool, but like now they suck and they've sucked ever since.
If you're telling me
and you get a Super Bowl out of it to suck again,
you're okay with that, Kai. You're definitely okay with that.
You'll be fine with that. I promise you.
I'm not.
I promise you. If you get a Super Bowl out of it, Kai, that one Super Bowl will make you feel like $1 million, my brother. I promise you that.
Listen, Aaron will give me like 2 or 3. So I agree with.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like for me with Tua, like I get it. I get the people who are ready to move off of him and everything. He's shown like people have major questions about what this man is and is not capable of. But like there are circumstances that factor into that. And if you're looking to win now, then there aren't very many quarterbacks that are going to give you a better shot of winning now. And the ones that are available, like if you got a chance to get them. But Kirk Cousins ain't never won a Super Bowl his damn self. So I don't know why you think going from Tua to Kirk Cousins is going to change the fortunes of the Dolphins. It won't.
Oh, no. I mean, it won't. But what I'm saying is, like, I'm not doing it in terms of, like, just straight up giving up Tua for Kirk. But what I'm saying is, like, at the end of the day, like, you got 2 men whose job is on the line.
All right.
Like, that's what I'm – like, I wouldn't be surprised if they did do it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would be stunned.
I wouldn't be
surprised. If they went after
Kirk
Cousins, I would be stunned.
I wouldn't. Because desperate times comes for desperate measures. And if you can't do the ultimate
I would be just as stunned as this. That would be another stun.
That I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I mean,
Jimmy G, Kirk Cousins, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Like,
yeah, that same difference.
I'm not doing it. I'd rather run Tua ass out there.
I'd rather run Tua's ass out there for either of them.
Yeah, I'm keeping.
There was a thread. There was a thread on Twitter earlier this week, and it was like listing quarterbacks and would you rather have Tua over them? I'm gonna go find that really quick. But I guess before I go and look for that, do you guys How do you guys feel about the whole Davis Mills thing? I think I'll start with Kendall since I know Kendall is the bigger Dolphins fan out of the two of you. Like, how do you feel about Davis Mills? Do you think that this is a legitimate comparison, or do you think Dolphins fans are just wanting to find something to cling on to?
To who? To Tua?
Like the Davis Mills versus Tua thing.
I mean, I don't. It is interesting. I mean, because they're from the same recruiting class. And Davis Mills was ranked higher than Tua in the recruiting class, and then he went through his injuries and whatnot at Stanford. And I think it says more about Tua, like in his progression and like who he is as a player. I mean, to go against the same team, yeah, you were on the road. And
Jimmy G was carried to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he was. He was.
He missed the most important pass in the Super Bowl that would have won the Super Bowl.
Wide open.
Wide open.
It's all fun and games until you got to make that throw.
Yeah.
That, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where I'm at with our quarterback. I just don't believe that he can come through when we really need him. Like,
that's
but
legitimate. He missed Albert Wilson wide open.
Bro, I was sitting right there. I saw it. Underthrew him like a mug, bro. And that's the thing between
that was disappointing.
Jimmy G and Tua. It's just like they're kind of like the same in a sense, but one is just gonna overthrow it and one's just gonna underthrow it. They but you asked about Davis Mills. I do think it's interesting. Davis Mills is on the Texans. I mean, and he looks just as good, if not a little bit better than Tua does in his second year, and he's a rookie. So I don't know. I think it's interesting.
Davis Mills is not better than Tua Tagovailoa, and I don't give a shit what he looked like. He's just not, bro. I get it. I get it. Jit can play. I'm not saying that, but like I don't view Tua as just some
Jit can play.
I'm turning 34 soon, so most people in the NFL are young to me. But like he can play. Like I don't want to discredit Davis Mills for anything, but I think a lot of people are using last game. Like it was so bad that it just highlighted the whole season.
Dude, there's a man named Elite Tua that has his name in his handle, his picture as his Avi, and the dude is out here comparing every mediocre quarterback in the NFL to Tua and wanting Tua gone. After 2 weeks ago, tweeting a video about how special Tua was.
Just being fair. I do believe at this point in his career, Tua is a mediocre quarterback. I don't want people to think that I'm putting Tua on this pedestal where I'm having him in like no top nothing conversations.
Well, so then, okay.
If we're talking about mediocre quarterbacks, then I'd rather rock out with the mediocre quarterback that I know than the mediocre that I don't know. Like Davis has his warts too.
Here's the question. I'm gonna go through a list and then I'm gonna just Tua or okay. In current state, not what they've done in the past, just current state. I wiped out the first 10 because it's way too obvious. So starting with the number 11. Tua or Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan.
That one's too obvious. Tua or Kirk? That's, I guess, another question.
Tua
or Jared Goff?
Tua
or Baker?
Tua.
Derek Carr. I feel like that's a little obvious.
Derek Carr.
Trevor.
Carson,
yeah.
Okay. The rest of these are all bullshit. Like,
ask a few.
Kind of you would pick.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me easy ones. I want to see if I want to.
I mean, if we differ, that would be crazy. Ben.
Oh, Tua. He's playing his last game. Right?
Yeah, Fitzpatrick, for some reason, is on this list.
Oh yeah, well, we made that decision already.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
I hate Zach Wilson. I think he's a bum, and I think he's a bust, bro.
He's gonna be a bust.
He just might be a bust, but his ceiling is much higher. So I'm taking a chance.
I'll give you that. He has more athletic
skill.
ability.
Yeah.
Maybe not skill. I think Tua is a more skilled quarterback, but I think like that arm strength and all that, like you can't teach that kind of stuff. He just
them off-platform throws. I think that's something that's crazy. That's different. That's a little different.
He could have us looking like we talking about Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
Mac.
I don't know what
Mac.
man on Trey Lance. You talking about McCorkle or Tua?
Yeah.
Mac. I'm taking Mac.
They're the same person to me. Like
Exactly.
yeah, so I take Tua.
They're the same person, but I've seen they're the same person, but I've seen more from Mac. So
I've seen McCorkle Jones
Darnold.
win a game when he threw the ball 3 times.
Darnold.
Tua. Sam Darnold's terrible.
Hurts.
Hurts.
Taysom or Jameis.
Jameis.
Taysom.
Okay.
Taysom is trash.
Drew Lock.
Tua.
Tua.
Daniel Jones.
Tua.
So
I'll take Daniel Jones over Tua.
Yeah. That's wild to me.
Hey, that boy Daniel Jones. That boy Daniel Jones, big garbage. But I take Daniel Jones over Tua.
So out of all
Davis
the quarterbacks listed here, we're pretty much saying Tua is around 14, 15 on the list. Is essentially what we're at right now.
You should have asked
14, 15 in the league.
All right, Tyler Huntley.
Yeah. Like around the middle of the pack, essentially.
Tyler Huntley.
I'm taking Tua over Tyler Huntley.
I'm taking Tyler.
I'm taking Tua,
I'm not taking Tyler
margin,
Huntley.
by this much now. It ain't much that I'm taking Tua over that boy.
Yeah, I'm taking Davis Mills over Tua. That man, he keep firing. I see. He like, nah.
I can't do it.
Oh, look at Tyler Huntley. He just making it even easier.
Look at Juan Cardona. Juan Cardona goes from praising Tua in the Dolphin chats and going at anytime anyone puts anything about Davis Mills coming with a counterpoint. Then he tweets the Texans have scored more points than the Dolphins did versus the Titans. He is a menace to society.
Yeah.
That motherfucker says, I love Tua in one thing, and then the next thing goes, Davis Mills the GOAT. Like
Juan Cardona is one of my favorite people that I've gotten closer to during this season, and I'm appreciative for him. Me, Kai, we already had our own relationship dating back to the days of Ozark Radio. Me and Mike had our own relationship, but Juan is the motherfucker who, like, I did not know Juan was this type of guy. He's of the same ilk.
He lives for chaos, and I enjoy
That's
it.
what we do,
I enjoy it.
Poking people.
Mm-hmm.
I fuck with Juan. Love Juan Cardona.
I love Juan. He's very interesting. The way that he goes about things is very,
one of the best
very
trolls
interesting.
on Twitter.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Like sometimes he'll tweet something and I have to double check myself because I'm like, I have to make sure that it's Juan because he'll tweet something. I'm like, yo, 5 minutes ago you just told me something different.
Yo, that's the type of person that I strive to be on Twitter. Like when you tweet something, people spend most of the time reading the tweet trying to figure out whether or not you're serious. Like they don't know if you're serious about what you're saying or whether you're playing. But Juan toes that line beautifully, and I love it. I never know what he's talking about.
There's now a trend on Twitter called Unfollow Driscoll.
Like Jeff Driscoll?
Driscoll.
No, Neil Driscoll. I think he's now privatized his tweets.
Gator boys.
I'm about to say that boy just a practice squad player right now. They're getting them boy followers down.
So, I mean, all right. I guess we'll talk about this. Has been more of like an extra yard episode than the fucking pregame show, but it's just because there's nothing to talk about. Like, it's like
the season's over. There are no implications from this game. You're just going out there to play it, and I think it's more so pride. Like, when the last time the Dolphins beat the Patriots 2 times in 1 year?
I think
that's
2000.
Good ass.
2000. Yeah, I think it was 2000.
So if Dolphins fans want something to look forward to for this game, if y'all want to kind of invest yourself in there, this could be the first time that the Dolphins beat the Patriots both times or swept the Patriots in a season and in a long time. So that's a win that you can take.
The last time that the Dolphins swept the Patriots, they did it in back-to-back years, according to Google, 1999 and 2000.
Yeah, I would feel so much better about Tua if the Bills weren't around.
Yeah.
Because if you go 3-0 against the team that's running the division, like you know what I'm saying, that's ran the division for years, and like the Bills weren't as good as they are, like
y'all
I would feel so much better.
Bro, listen, y'all would feel so much better about Tua if Tua didn't get hurt for 4 games. Because y'all have been in the playoffs. That's why.
Yeah,
everybody feel
for
a whole
sure.
lot better. Like, he didn't do himself any favor. Well, Jesse Davis didn't do anybody any favors by letting somebody walk right into killing Tua. But, like, if Tua had to play them 4 games, you pick up 1-2 of them, you're in the playoffs. And everybody feels completely different about the man.
Yeah, and I also think we would have won the other 2 when he came back because he would have already been in the rhythm, and think
you're talking about a completely different season, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So Dolphins have won 2 straight against the Patriots. 2 was the quarterback for both of those. The Patriots have also lost 2 straight.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's
incorrect.
That's a good question, Kai. When the last time the Dolphins had back-to-back winning seasons?
Back in 2001, right now as well. 2002, probably. I think.
In that, like, 1990, by the way, the stretch from October 17th, 1999 to December 22nd, 2001, the Dolphins dominated the Patriots, 5 straight wins. And in that stretch from 1999 to 2002, the Dolphins were a total of 6-1 against the Patriots. They have not gone on a streak like that in forever. The last time there was a major streak in this series, the Patriots beat the Dolphins 7 straight times from 2010 to 2013. But this is the situation. All away games. The Patriots have... No, I don't want... You see, this is stupid. I'm going to keep looking this up, but last time the Dolphins had a winning season, I'll get that in a second. But, I mean, does it mean anything just to beat the Patriots again? That's why I asked for the Tua thing. Sure. Like, if it doesn't matter, 3-0 against the best coach in NFL history, like,
nope. It probably doesn't mean anything in the long run. I was about to say it might mean something next year when they predicting like preseason rankings or whatever, but it won't. It's the Patriots. They're going to rank them to probably finish in the top 2 in the division because the media doesn't think.
Just depending on who our quarterback is. If Tua is our quarterback, they're going to rank him above us. Like, yeah. Like I would say, it would mean so much. Like, if they got 1 W against the Bills. Like,
I can guarantee you this statement is false.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
What they trying to do to you, bro?
Bro, listen, they trying to hurt the boy. I promise you, Ed Oliver will be into a shit as soon as he see me.
I think it would mean something. Like I said, the Bills. I mean, like when I think about like how the defense held down the Bills the second time in Buffalo, like, and it was 3-3 for a while. Like, say he comes through, like, and wins that game for us, like, or was putting points on the board because the defense ended up collapsing. I think it would definitely mean something because you would have been like, okay, your first year as a starter, you got to split with the eventual division champs, and you would possibly be playing for a playoff spot right now. And then you end up beating like Bill Belichick for a 3rd straight time. Like, it would definitely mean a whole lot, but it means nothing because the Bills run the division now. So I think it means more to Flores.
I think watching the Dolphins play the Bills, it made me question, like, very slightly how much longer the Bills are going to run the division, because the Dolphins' defense this year has been really good about, like you were talking about, like both games, not just that second one, like the first game too. They were really good, like against the Bills, and it's just kind of
the
like
first half, the bottom fell out. Like in the first game, they were good in the first half. Like they got a couple turnovers. It was 14-0. Like, I think we got into the red zone like 2 or 3 times, and we just obviously didn't choose the kick field goals.
Something to note really quickly. The Miami Dolphins, just looking back at their history from 1989 until 2004, the Miami Dolphins did not have one single losing season. They went 8-8 3 times in that stretch. And their last back-to-back winning season was 2002 and 2003. The following year in 2004, they went 4-12, and then 9-7 with Saban, 6-10 with Saban, and then Cam Cameron the 1-15 year. So yeah.
Someone said that Robert Jones is seen in pregame warmups at first team right tackle.
Yeah,
and since that last, I guess they won 11-5 in 2008 with Sprono Pennington as the coach. Since 2008, they've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 losing seasons since 2008, and they've had 2 seasons where they've been 8-8.
That sounds about right. Been stuck in the middle for years.
Yep.
And
stuck in the middle.
I'm squeezed.
I feel like
in the middle.
I feel like being stuck in the middle is worse than being at the bottom.
It is.
It's like, especially in football, it's like, bro, we've been there forever.
That is true. Daniel Giuseppe just tweeted Robert Jones is at first team right tackle in warmups. Daniel Giuseppe from the Miami Herald. He also, or OU, I don't know how to say his last name, Oyufusi or something like that. Sorry. He said Jones took the first 2 snaps. Jesse Davis came in for 1, and then it went back to Jones. So it looks like, as stated by Welch, they waited until the very last week to bench Jesse fucking Davis.
I mean, they knew I was fucking right in the preseason when I said they should cut this motherfucker.
That means they knew everyone was right after fucking the first game against the Bears. I think that was the first game against the Bears when everyone was like, yeah, Jesse Davis can no longer be starting. But Royal.
Thank you, John Mullen, for the $4.99 dono. He said, at least we can all say we watched Tua's last game as a Dolphin. You don't know that, John Mullen. Thank you for your money, but that may not be the case. I'm telling you, a lot of you motherfuckers better be real careful with how you slander it to it, because when they trot number 1 out there for the first game of next year, y'all gonna be having egg on your face, bro. Like it has to be a clear-cut upgrade to get off of Tua.
You said that you said that we might have egg on our face if we like trying to get Tua out of here.
You know what I'm saying, like, everybody who talked about this gonna be his last game, like,
hey, look, I'm gonna speak it into existence. I'll take all the eggs, because I can't have them.
Look, now I mean, there's some legit. If he get out of there, he out of there. But if he there, then what y'all gonna do then? Stop rooting for the Dolphins? No.
Oh no, for sure. I'm gonna root for him. I'm rooting for him today like crazy. But
I don't want Harbaugh. I'm just putting on in front.
That would kind of be a backwards move too. Like,
I'm gonna say right here, first game of the 2022-23 NFL season, Tua Tagovailoa is still gonna be the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins.
That's how I feel, bro. I don't care what people want. Like, that's what I feel is gonna happen. Nothing. They're gonna sign a wide receiver, sign offensive line.
I think what's gonna end up happening, and legitimately, and I'm not saying this just as someone who's worried about the off the field stuff. I think that Deshaun is going to get at least convicted of one of these 10 cases that are going to court. When the grand jury is set to see them, I think they're set to see them in March or something like that. I think that he's going to be on the hook for at least one of them. And that's just going to effectively end any trade market he has.
Right. And in that case, then what are the other targets that are out there for the Dolphins? What other options can they explore?
Aaron's probably not going to leave. Russ, if they don't want to trade him, there's nothing he can do about that.
Right. They said they came out that they didn't want to trade him. They probably let Pete Carroll go, but they're not going to trade Russ.
Get a young offensive coach. Do the same thing that the Packers did, essentially. I mean, Rodgers and Russ weren't on the same kind of like downtrend. Like, I feel like Aaron was still kind of going up. Russ right now like hasn't been looking great since he came back from his injury, but I think this whole season's a wash for Seattle in the first place.
Yeah,
but that's what I end up thinking is going to happen. I really just think that that's just going to be the situation.
Yeah, I think that market is going to dry up really quickly, very fast for the Dolphins in terms of quarterbacks who can actually advance this team to the next level. And then they're just going to be like, look, we'll run it back with Tua for the beginning of the season. If something shakes free during the trade deadline, we'll try and make a play at it. But if not, Tua is your guy. Like,
no, that's
it's okay. No, Tua's not my guy. My guy's name's Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be the MVP of the league.
But so just to be, this is from Matt Young of Cron, but we're going off of another report from Ian Rappaport. That and Tom Pelissero that they said this morning, I guess, actually. The Houston prosecutor handling 10 criminal complaints filed against Watson is expected to make clear her stance on any potential charges sometime in the next several weeks and turn the case over to the grand jury. So we'll have to see what that situation is.
Yeah, but yeah,
And apparently, before the trade deadline, Watson did try to get all 22 women to agree to a settlement, which means that there's probably a lot of truth to the report about Stephen Ross, where they wanted him to settle and they would have made the trade.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't think there's a portion of people like, no, that it's not going to happen because why would they do that? You know, that is just like being ignorant, bro. Like, if the man got on the phone trying to talk to him and convince him, like, he's interested in having him on his team. Like, so.
And he will pay to make that happen.
Yes, exactly.
Money's not a thing to him. So a lot of people.
And according with Pelissero, and sorry to keep interrupting, but just reading more about it with Pelissero and Rappaport, they said that the Houston Texans are planning to trade Watson before free agency opens in March. So there will most likely be a decision on where he's traded to and if he will be convicted or at least tried by a grand jury before March.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to trade him before March unless there's some kind of finality to that situation. Like you're not going to.
I don't see that either.
It's going to be the same situation.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think a team's going to just hang in the balance and be like, "Well, we'll wait, we'll see." Like
they're not going to pony up that much.
If something is not done by the start of free agency, I don't think a trade's going to happen.
He's going to be on their roster next year too.
Because that's just with the draft picks, it's all a sell to free agents. Like it can't have anything happen unless you have something just like actually there in fact. But to get away from that and to just get, I guess, into the end of this pregame show, Dolphins versus the Patriots. What do we think will happen? Royal, win, loss, score prediction. How's it all going to square out?
Yeah, I think the Dolphins are going to lose this game. And I think it's going to be in remarkable fashion. I think a lot of the players have the same feeling as the fans. They don't give a shit. Xavier Howard is not going to do anything. Emmanuel Ogbah is not going to do anything. Mike Gesicki is not going to do anything. The latter two, because they have contracts coming up. The former, because he done already hit all his incentives to get all his money. So he's not going to do a goddamn thing for this game. And the defense is just not going to play with the same level of intensity. There's a difference when you're playing for something. And we're going to see that difference today. And the Dolphins are going to lose, and I think it's going to be like 24-10 or something like that.
I saw a tweet that Xavier Howard needs one more interception to tie Will Fuller for catches this season.
Yeah, I don't think he cares about that. I think he cares about those monetary.
I just think it's fun.
Yeah, that would be great. It'll be great.
That would be very funny. Kendall.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins lose as well. Probably like 21-16. I think it'll be a little closer because I think they're gonna sit people. Yes, I do think they're gonna break the record.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna
make it be something like they do like some jet sweep bullshit.
Jet sweep. They're gonna make it an emphasis to get it done.
Well, what were you saying, anyways, Kendall? Sorry to cut off there.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game because the Patriots will sit their guys probably in like the third quarter, like early third, probably play a series or mid third quarter. They're gonna look up. Bill's gonna get the word that Buffalo is blowing out the Jets, and then they're just gonna be like, all right, there's no point, like, in really having Mac Jones and our main guys out there. Like, I know Hightower's not playing. So it will come a point, Judon probably and those guys will like sit and McCourty and those because it's just not really worth it, to be honest.
I think with score prediction, what do you think is going to happen?
I said 21-16.
Okay, sorry, I didn't catch it. I think that the Dolphins will finish above 500. I just kind of in the same vein that you're saying that the Patriots will end up start sitting people. I think the Dolphins are going to end up finishing 9-8. I think they'll finish above 500 and squeak out this win. I just don't think that it matters so much for anything. But I think the Dolphins will win. Probably like some bullshit of like 20 fucking to 17 or something low like last time. That's just.
I just don't see it, bro. I don't like the defense carried them to wins all year long, and a lot of people on that defense just really don't give a shit about the outcome of this game. Like because they don't. They either have job security or they up for a contract and they trying to get hurt. They just really don't care.
Yep. Well, it is what it is. We're here just for some interesting situations that have happened before we wrap things up. The Colts lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. For all Dolphins fans, if you want to know something funny, that would have given the Dolphins the playoffs if they had won last week, because then the Colts would not have a chance to make it, and the Dolphins would pretty much be in a situation where they would be in the playoffs, which is great. The Colts need, just for those who want to see the Colts not make the playoffs, they need the Patriots, the Steelers, and the Chargers to all lose to make the playoffs now at 9-8. So the Dolphins could also play spoiler to a team that beat us when their former quarterback Jacoby Brissett was starting for us. So
who was
wrapping
also a
everything
former
up,
Patriot.
Hands off the mouse and keyboard. Any final words, Kendall? I'll start with you.
To us so long, farewell to you, my friend. Goodbye for now until we meet again.
Royal.
Fizz up.
Oh, that's so nice. My way to end it is just that I think everything in this world is great, and maybe next year the Dolphins will make the playoffs.
Is that the one?
I hope so.